Today, I want to talk about something that's always making the headlines, but rarely discussed with plastics manufacturing, and that is interest rates. Let's start with the broader economy. The US economy grew 2.2% last year. That tells us that the economy largely withstood the uncertainty surrounding higher tariffs. Growth slowed, but it was sustained. At the same time, on January 28th, the Federal Reserve kept the Fed funds rate steady at its current 3.5 to 3.75% range. That pause followed three 25 basis point cuts last year as the economy expanded. So, what does that mean for manufacturing and specifically for plastics? Plastics product manufacturing is highly interest rate sensitive. After the financial crises, the output of plastics, that is, grew steadily as the housing market recovered and interest rates remained at or below 2%. Low borrowing costs encouraged investment spending, it supported capacity expansion, and it made less expensive to hold materials and finished goods inventory. We saw a similar dynamic during COVID with interest rates near zero. The industry was able to respond to surging demand for plastics in medical supplies, packaging, and other essential products, even as supply chains were strained. But the environment shifted in 2022. When the Fed tightened monetary policy aggressively, short term rates rose quickly and plastics manufacturing weakened. Output bottomed when the federal funds rate reached around 4%. And when rates approached 5% in 2023, production gains were short lived. Higher rates don't just affect demand, but they directly affect inventory decisions. Finished goods tie up capital. As interest rates rise, the cost of carrying that inventory rises. Firms respond by running lean, preserving cash, and cutting production. That inventory adjustment amplified the slowdown in plastics manufacturing. Even after rate cuts began in late 2024 and continued through 2025, production struggled to regain sustained momentum. Late last year, when interest rates eased back to around 4% and below, we did see plastics output rise for two consecutive months, a welcome sign. The key question now is whether that momentum can be sustained. On the demand side, based on our monthly plastics estimates, it shows that plastics demand has been relatively stable, steady, even if not accelerating. On the supply side, production continues to adjust to broader economic and policy factors, many of which are outside the industry's direct control. And this is where the 4% level becomes important. When the Fed's 2% inflation target, a 4% nominal rate implies a real rate of roughly 2%. Historically, plastics production tended higher for nearly 35 straight quarters when real interest rates were at or below that particular threshold. Above it, contraction followed. That makes 4% a meaningful tipping point, in my opinion, for manufacturing activity and inventory behavior. So the next question is, will the Fed resume easing in 2026? Well, that depends on the Fed's dual mandate of maximum employment and price stability, which we all know, even as financial markets are pricing in roughly two rate cuts this year. The labor market has shown signs of softening based on total non-farm job openings that has declined from September to December of last year. However, the unemployment rate stood at 4.3% in January, with 2026 forecasts between 4.2 and 4.5%. That alone is unlikely to trigger aggressive interest rate cuts. Inflation pressures have eased as well. Remaining price pressures are concentrated in areas like energy services, not broad-based imports. And in fact, the feared empty store shelves in 2025 did not materialize. For now, in my opinion, monetary policy appears balanced. And for me, employment and inflation concerns are more benign than alarming. But plastics manufacturing reminds us of how sensitive industrial activity and especially inventory decisions are to interest rates near that 4% threshold. With inventory holding costs still elevated, firms are likely to remain cautious, and the Fed will remain firmly data dependent. I am Perc Pineda, Chief Economist of the Plastics Industry Association.